Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers, my name is Ravi Balaram, Ravi Kiran Balaram actually. I'm from Orlando, Jamaat, and I'm living in Jacksonville, Florida. I was born in an Hindu family in Bangalore, India. I was practicing Muslim Hinduism and followed the religion by heart, visiting temples and worshipping multiple deities as much as possible. My mother was a God-fearing lady and did everything possible to please the deities. She made sure we children followed her footsteps. I was a hardcore Hindu and never missed a chance to argue about religions defending Hinduism. I strongly believe that Hinduism is a civilization and way of life which doesn't have a birth date or a founder as other religions. I had a strong opinion that Hinduism was better than other religions because at that time many of the religions were either extremists and too much of pleasure in their worldly life. Life puts into difficult situations where your opinions has to take a U-turn. In around 2002, I was going through a rough patch and I was very stressed out about my life and how it was going. I started receiving a lot of advice from friends and family, go to this temple, pray this God, do these things. And I used to do a lot of that. I started visiting multiple temples and godmen, as you know, in India and other places. So I used to get a lot of reassurances and promises that my business will become successful, and I did not see that happen. During this time, my mother started to say that I was offending a particular god because I was visiting another god, and she said, "You are offending that god." So she said my failures in my life was because of that. I did what she asked me to pacify one god, but it made me ponder and started to have a conflict in my belief. I was thinking, would a God get jealous? That was my question. It was a human emotion, and why would a God get jealous because if I am praying for another God? I wasn't doing anything wrong in my life to feel what I was going through. Thoughts like this started to make me look at other religions, Christianity, Islam. The concept of one God was the best solution which was happening in Christianity and in Islam. I had a lot of Christian friends, and I started to go around with them. One thing that was putting me off was the alcohol usage in Christianity. I saw that there was a lot of alcohol consumption in the families, in spite of the small age and everything. I then did not know I used to hate alcohol a lot, and this hatred for alcohol will one day take me towards Allah. I then started to look towards Islam, but extremism and terrorism at that time was rampant and I was afraid to adopt it. But the basic teachings of Islam was about peace and oneness of God and brotherhood. I would like to share 3 of the miracles, what I consider as miracles in my life. The first one was around 2002. Nothing positive was happening financially in my life. So one of my friends suggested that we should get a Pepsi area dealership in our city, and his uncle would allot us as he was the city dealer of the company. He scheduled a meeting to finalize the deal. We were excited that we finally got an opportunity. At that time, it was a great opportunity with a lot of potential to get a Pepsi dealership. Finally, the day of the meeting came, and I reached his office earlier than the scheduled time. Skipping my breakfast, I was extremely excited, and I did not want to go late. To our surprise, he wasn't there in his office yet. After waiting for a couple of hours, he came in and he did not even bother to say sorry or anything. And he started to do his pujas in the office. And after doing his puja, he sat down and started to do his office work. So I noticed an office boy bought a bottle of whiskey and started to pour him drinks. He started drinking, did not even bother to talk to us, and he was really intoxicated. I lost my patience and walked out of there with anger burning inside me. I even forgot that I drove with my friend, and I stepped out of the building, started walking. I was deeply disappointed and angry. I experienced a lot of emotions in that short period of time. I was asking myself and I was asking God, am I so worthless for not to be blessed for anything? Saying this, I was walking and I looked up and I saw a sign that read Ahmadiyya Muslim Library. I looked down and saw it was a mosque and it had a big gate. And I saw a gentleman sitting on a chair and doing something, he was writing something down. So I don't know, in the heat of the moment, I walked inside the mosque and I asked him, "Is this a mosque?" He said, "Yes, sir." So I made a decision at that time, and probably it was the heat of the moment or whatever it is, thinking what happened to me that day and what was happening. I just said, I want to become a Muslim. So he was the president of Bangalore Ahmadiyya Muslim community. He smiled at me and he said, "You'll need some more time for that. You'll have to learn. You can't become a Muslim right away." I was like, I was worrying. I was thinking he's going to grab me, take me inside the mosque. He'll tell this, do this. Anyhow, he did not do any of that. He called the Murabbi Sahab and put some chairs. We sat down, we chatted. I told what all is happening and who am I. He said, "Okay, fine, you have to read some more. You have to know about the religion and then you can come back. Pray for some signs. Ask for God to give you a sign whether you are doing right." So I walked out to the mosque. I said, "I'll be coming back." And I walked out and I asked God, "Please give me a sign." I walked out and I was not knowing what to do. I got a call from my other friend. He was a Christian actually. He said, my cousin brother wants to meet you." He had a cousin brother. There was an inter-caste marriage in their family, and that cousin brother was a Muslim. So he was a big businessman. He called, he said, "I want to meet you guys," and he asked me to come in. So I didn't want to go, but still because I was forced, I went. I had given a proposition of a land for him to buy. So I thought probably he wants to talk about it, but I did not have I did not think it will work. We went and we sat down in the office, and he was very, very famous for making people wait and not pay people. Even in spite of being a multimillionaire, he never paid anybody in time. So he was known for that. He was not known to pay and all, and nobody expected money from him from a long time. Anyway, I sat down for 30 minutes. I couldn't wait anymore. So I got up and I told my friend, "I'm leaving. I'm not in a good mood today to do anything. So let me go." So as I was walking, an office boy runs behind me, says that the boss wants to meet you. So he did not ask his cousin to come in, but only asked me to come in. So I went and sat down, and he was like, mockingly, he said, "Itna jaldi hai, you have to walk out so fast? Huh? You just came in and you're walking out?" I said, "I'm not in a good mood today. I don't want to talk. If you want to talk about business, let's talk. Otherwise, I'm going out." He said, we didn't expect he's going to do that. He told, "How much do you think you will be needing to get me the remaining documents for this particular land which we had proposed?" And we used to get a verification from a government department, this land is good to buy. So that one, he wanted that. And I told him a big amount. I knew he was not going to give. So I told, "Why not? Let me put a big number. Anyhow, I'm not getting that." So I gave him a big number to give, and for my surprise, he called the accountant. He told, "Please give this money to Ravi, and he's going to start working on this land for us." And I was like shocked. And anyhow, alhamdulillah, I took the money. I didn't have anything to lose. I took the money, and I walked out. And my friend saw the money in my hand. He said, "My brother gave it to you?" This guy was known. They used to tell, I don't mind coming back to Urdu here. मुर्दे के मुंह से पैसा निकाल सकते हो, इसके हाथ से नहीं. So that was what was happening. Nobody thought that he's going to give the money, not even the office staff, not anybody. And the cousin told, "This is a miracle. My brother giving money to you is a miracle." So I walked out. The morning I was thinking, I need a miracle, and the miracle was happening to me. And there is a Christian friend, a Muslim businessman giving me money. I just walked into a masjid, came out. I don't know what. I was like, I'm at the right path right now. Probably this is what the sign which I was expecting for and is happening to me. So I started going to that masjid. I was like, I'll go to this masjid. I'll get more money. That's what I was thinking. So I started going to the masjid. I did not know how to pray, but still they helped me to pray. They taught me basic things, and we used to sit in the library. We used to discuss a lot about Hinduism, Islam, and I wanted to see if something good goes. So happened 2 years down the line. I used to come back, Friday prayers, all the events. I remember attending Ijtema also at that time, just like this, and I was made a security guy. I was not Ahmadi, but I was a security. Yeah, this happened then. I used to go to Jalsa. They told me, please come to Jalsas. You have to see Qadian Jalsas. And Qadian Jalsa was amazing. It was, the first time I went was 2002. And it was an amazing experience. Then I attended Jalsas. Then came the turning point, 2005, when Huzur came to India, Qadian, for Jalsa. It was an occasion for us, event for us. We all went to Jalsa. We attended the Jalsas. I saw Huzur for the first time. But before going to Jalsa, there comes another turning point in my life. I was thinking, how do I reveal this to my family and all? But my mother told me before I left for Jalsa, the day before I left for Jalsa, she said, I saw a dream. I saw a man with a white graceful beard, with a white turban, with a white dress, holding your hand and taking you away. I was happy. You were happy. He was happy. We were all happy. I was like, she had not seen even a picture of Huzur at that time. I had not shown anything. I did not show anything. I was like a rebel son, you can say, not sharing anything with the family, apart from something which was close to me. She said, you're gone. I'm happy. I don't mind you going. Anyhow, I thought she dreamt she saw something. Let's go. I went to Jalsa, attended the Jalsa, 3 days Jalsa. My program was for 4 days. My 4th day was booked already. I had to come back from Qadian to Amritsar and then Delhi and fly back to home. So 4th day was my ticket booked. 3rd day, evening, Maghrib time, we were walking in front of Masjid Aqsa, coming back to my place where I had put my belongings in a house, staying with my friend. There was a young boy with me, a teenage boy with me, all those days, 3 days, becoming my very good friend. He's from Bangalore too. So we were walking in front of Masjid Aqsa. We saw a big line, like a serpent going around everywhere. I go, what is this? They said, this is the line for Muzaffar. I said, why are we not here already then? Why shouldn't, this was a chance to meet Huzur, but we had forgotten, nobody told us. So we were like, man, we should have known, we should have gone, we should have met Huzur, all these things, blah, blah, blah. We are talking, if somebody visited Qadian and seen Masjid Aqsa, probably, there are 2 side doors in Masjid Aqsa, which will take you inside the mosque. Big doors. So we were walking down, and the side door opens up. There's a young Qadim, we had become a friend, while serving food and all these things. Young Qadim from Qadian, and we were a bit friendly with him. He saw us suddenly and he said, Bhai, aapki mulaqat ho gayi? Musafa ho gayi Huzur se? I said, no. Did you meet him? I said, no. He held the hands of both me and my friend, pulled us inside the mosque, through the side door, took us straight to the room where Muzaffar was happening, made us stand in front of Huzur. 2 or 3 people. We don't know how this happened. It all happened very quickly, like door opened, we went inside and we were there in front of Huzur. I was like shocked, what's happening? And I was nervous. We used to call, I'm sorry if I'm hurting anybody of you here. We used to call Huzur Tiger. Somehow, I don't know why. He was a young guy, teenage boy, he named it, he's our tiger, he's our tiger, So I was like, oh, yes. I was totally nervous, I don't know what to do now. But I thought, all I have to do is salam and go, like everybody are doing salam, and they are going. So that's all I'll have to do, what else can I do? So I'm in front of Huzur, and Huzur takes my hand, and I say, Assalamu alaikum Huzur. He says, Wa alaikum salam. And we were supposed to step out. And suddenly, I don't know, I said, Huzur, I want to do bayat in your hand. He says, Aap Ahmadi nahi ho? I said, nahi Huzur. I said, Acha, iska bayat form bharti karwa le aur approval ke liye bhej dijiye. He was just telling somebody there. At that moment, once again, this was another turning point. There was a chachu of my friend who joined us in that rush, So he goes very close to Huzur and says, Maine banaya Huzur, maine banaya. I was, at that time, if Huzur had given a little bit of importance to that person, telling anything reassuring or telling that you have done a good job, anything, my heart would have broken. Huzur held that person with his collar shirt like this. He said, "Aap side pe aa jaye. Hame pata hai kisne banaya." That's all. till date, from that moment, I have not, an ounce of love for Huzur has not gone down for me. If he had told, if he had told anything to that person reassuringly, I would have lost my faith at that time. But the moment he did that, I was like, this is it. I don't have any other problem here. Nothing. And he says, and he takes him away. And then now, I had another thing in my mind running. I have to change my name. I don't know, I'll be Imran Khan, I'll be what now? I was like, God, something good, please. I said, Huzur, do I have to change my name? Can you give me a name? Sorry, I said, can you give me a name? Because they are told, if at all, the Huzur gives names. So I said, can you give me a name? And he said, आपका नाम क्या है? I said, Ravi Kiran Balaram. So, matlab samjhaye. I said, my meaning of my name. I said, it's sun rays. He took a second or two, he thought, and he said, koi zarurat nahi, yahi naam acha hai. I was like relieved. There's something, I don't know, probably something came out of my shoulders. I was like so happy that I have my name, now I am Ahmadi, I don't know what. I was happy, that's all. And then I asked, now greed comes down here, it's not easy. You're greedy. So I said, Huzur, can I take a picture with you? He said, sure. We took a picture. And I remember, but that picture never came out. That's one of the things very disappointing in my life. I don't know, I had a stupid camera and it never worked out. But you should be knowing Ijaz Khan Saab. He goes with Huzur always, all over the place. So when I met him in USA, he told, don't worry, I've got your picture, I was there. So I have that one. So that was, I'm sorry, I wrote down, but I couldn't. So I met Huzur after that in 2008, I met him in England. And then in 2011, I came to US. I met him in Ohio in 2012. I had a son of 3 weeks at that time. Now, here comes the third miracle. Because he was three weeks when he met him first. Now, when Huzur came to Guatemala, this is my third miracle, which I consider it's a third miracle of my life. Huzur came to Guatemala to inaugurate Nasir Hospital. And my wife, my mother-in-law, and my son had a chance to go there. So my son always used to tell that I want to meet Huzur. Now he says he's a Waqf now. He says he wants to become the security of the Huzur. Anyhow, so he always wanted to go meet Huzur, and he thought that he's going to meet Huzur when he goes to Guatemala. He tried the first day, it did not happen. Second day did not happen. So after the inauguration, Huzur was coming out of Nasir Hospital. When he came out, my son was there in the crowd. And I screamed, yelled, Assalamu alaikum, Huzur. The first time he did not hear. The second time he did the same thing because my mother-in-law pushed him. Aur zor se. So he did, Assalamu alaikum, Huzur. And Huzur turns back and looks at him. And he signs, come here. But Huzur was in the security chain. The Qadims who were there having the security, they did not see Huzur calling him. And they stopped my son. And Huzur came to the security Qadim and told, Usko aane de. And they broke the chain. My son came. He had his muzafa. And because of him, all other kids in the crowd, they were given special permission to come and meet Huzur that day. So there are a lot of other miracles, small ones, which has happened in my life, which I can correlate with this. But time constraint, I'm supposed to stop here. Jazakallah for hearing my story. And Jazakallah Sadr Sahab for giving me an opportunity. Roshni ka safar